We had many plans to play in North America, but this is like the first plan that came through. And we're really glad to it in Canada, actually, because this is a bit unusual. Usually you go first to the States. We had a really good time here. The fans are really behind us, and we like it very much. And I think the show was average to okay. So, yeah, we're a bit more critical about ourselves. I think it's really great, and we really enjoyed it playing here first time.
How do the fans compare in North America as opposed to back in Switzerland?
Germany has a very strong heavy metal scene. Germany, Holland, Belgium, maybe, you know. And the reaction is it's a bit different. Like, they headbang much more. Fucking shut up here! They headbang much more in Germany. But, like, the reaction, if you get them to sing along or something like that, is here much bigger, you know. You never can get as many people in Germany singing a song or stuff. They just knew every word. They were singing with us. It was unbelievable. Thank you very much.
Did you have any plans to tour North America or Canada in the next little while?
Yeah, we'll have a US tour coming up in March, 15 to 20 dates, and hopefully we'll hit Canada again, because we also sell very well over here, and I think the agency will be setting up a tour for Canada again, you know. After this success here, I think it's really true.
Why was there no other date set? Just this one in Montreal?
There were some dates planned, but they were cancelled, I think, because of the promoters of the shows. They didn't like heavy metal, as far as I heard, which isn't unusual. So Quebec was cancelled, Toronto was cancelled.
There was a Toronto date set?
Yeah, so we only played these 3 dates in Montreal, and it makes us really sad, actually.
Do you play much in Europe on a regular basis or anything?
Like, where we come from, Switzerland, it's difficult to get gigs if you're a hardcore band. But yeah, we have some good tours in Europe, because starting with Germany, there's a strong scene, and we'll this was like the start of a new tour, which will be mostly in Europe. It's called the Tragic Grenades Tour, and it will leading us through Germany, maybe France. We played Italy before, and yeah, you can quite do a business in Europe. There's quite a scene over there.
Okay, your second LP, Into Megatherion, has just been released to more than favorable reviews. Are you happy with the response on the album?
Yeah, we're very happy with the response on the album, but we're not happy with the album. We expected much more from the production, and we got into heavy differences with the producer, Horst Müller, and we'll be definitely never working with him again, because we really didn't understand his way of work. He wasn't totally opposite to the band's ideas, and we felt that's really a bad situation. And we think we'll produce the next album ourselves by using a real good sound engineer to get really down on tape what we want. We thought we should go for like a production like a Morbid Tales, a bit advanced with maybe a bit better drum sound and a bit more outside influences.
I was going to ask you about Morbid Tales. Were you happy with that album?
Yeah, we were very happy with the album. I think it's the best we came up at this time, you know. We couldn't do anything better then. And it was also the time when we happened to work really good together with the producer, which was the same producer. But I think the band has moved on in between, in the meantime, and now the producers, I think, are really into different ideas. And I think from the songwriting to Megatherion, it's a major step forward, but we think the production could be much better, actually. And we're really pleased about the reaction among the fans, actually.
Okay, lyrically your songs tend to stay away from outright satanic lyrics, that kind of thing, and tend to deal more with us having trouble with finding exactly the right word, but true life events that have taken place, you know, into cryptography for one.
Yeah.
Where the ideas for that kind of stuff come from?
Marty and me got heavily influenced by the ancient history, by occultism. Not only black, you know, occultism takes both white magic, white religions, black religion, and so on. We don't follow any religion, and so we happen to know a bit more like only Satanism, you know. We don't follow Satanism at all. And a major influence is really ancient history, because there's a lot of occultism in there, or esoteric, like to say an example, like stuff like the Bermuda Triangle or the Nazca Lines, and reading books about that, or movies, all the stuff that is really a heavy influence in that. And since we're into that a long time before we founded the band, I think we have a good basic to write about that now as we have a band. I think that's the ideal theme to write about. And we use often stories like Chill the Ray, historical stories or fantasy stories to bring over a message, you know. We like to pack a message with a story, you know, bring it over in a story like we did Chill the Ray.
Where does the name Celtic Frost come from? What is it from?
Yeah, it's the same. Celtic we used like as a symbol for our interest in ancient history. We picked out the Celtics because they had a high civilization. They had language. They had these letter signs, all the stuff, and we thought they were really a good symbol for all this ancient history. And frost to us means being the end of the year, when everything dies, like every high culture died, you know. It's like at the end of every high culture it's an apocalypse, like at the end of the Egyptians, at the end of the Babylonians, at the end of the Celtics, and we believe also at the end of this civilization we're living in right now. So we took frost as like the end of a big time, of a big civilization. And we thought Celtic Frost is a bit symbolic for boss, for the history and this meaning of apocalypse.
Back to Switzerland, is there much in the way of hardcore metal bands coming out of Switzerland? Because basically all I've heard is of...
Well, no, there's not a lot of hardcore bands. Since we started with Hellhammer, there were some hardcore bands founded actually. There's a band called Messiah after this Hellhammer song. Fucking shut up, fucking. I know. There's this band Messiah, founded after the famous Hellhammer song. And they happen to be pretty hard, a bit in the vein of Possessed, Slayer. But I think that's the only band you can take serious out of Switzerland. You know, we had Crocus and that stuff, but they really move on in total different territory than we do. But hardcore scene is starting basically in Germany and France, and especially in Holland. You know, there are a lot of hardcore fans, but no hardcore band.
Do you get, and you may have noticed tonight in the crowd tonight, there was a lot of punks. What do you think of the punk metal crossover?
I like bands like Discharge when I started playing in my own bands, but I don't like punk at all. I think we were pretty heavy, but I think playing heavy metal, it should still be music and not only heavy noise, you know. I don't like punk at all, and I don't mind if punks come to our concerts. I mean, we play music for the people that like our music, who like our music. But me personally, I don't like punk, and I don't listen to punk, you know. I have, to go into that, I have influence like Roxy music, Frank Sinatra, I listen at home. And I'll lose every fan if I say that now, you know. But I think the proof is our records. We don't get softer through that, but we just have total different influences, and I think that makes us so unusual, being without these punk influences.
What do you think of the slam dancing situation?
I think it's kind of funny, you know. We have that also in Germany and sometimes in Switzerland. I think it's fucking dangerous, and if they don't care about their health, why not doing it, you know? I'm enjoying it if the fans get totally carried away by our music. It shows that they really feel our music, not only listen to it. But I think it's maybe being realistic, it's maybe giving heavy metal a bad image, you know. If somebody gets hurt or so, it can really hurt heavy metal, you know. But I think if they like to do it, why not? You know, it's funny to see them, and these people are totally into thrash metal, and why not supporting them, you know?
How did you get H.R. Geiger artwork for your new album?
We thought H.R. Geiger is absolutely in the same style like we are mentally, you know. And we happened to contact him with Hellhammer, and he mostly liked our lyrics, you know, because they were telling a lot of stuff he was trying to tell with his pictures. And I think he also liked songs like Danse Macabre, like these horror stuffs, like She's in a Prophet's Dream. These very avant-gardistic songs, which aren't heavy metal at all, like these horror soundtracks we made. And I think he liked that a lot, and he gave us we got into contact with him and we got along with him very well. We have to be really grateful to him because he gave us these 2 pictures as a gift. We didn't have to pay. And I think that's because he likes the band so much, you know. And we're really on one line together mentally, I think. And we admire that fact very much, you know. We're really proud to have that, and we're really glad that H.R. Giggles likes it, you know.
Musically speaking, bands like Slayer or Metallica have spawned a lot of clone bands, for lack of a better word. And I don't see too many bands imitating the Frost sound. Would you attribute that to anything?
Yeah. I mean, as far as us copying other bands, I think, as I told you, we have very, very different influences like the other bands. It's maybe dangerous to say that to the fans, but we have total different influences. Reed was studying classical music. He has studied conduction of classical orchestras, and he was studying classical drumming, and he played in jazz fusion bands. And I come basically from funk. I listened to hardcore metal since 1973. I started with Black Sabbath, what was the heaviest at this time, but parallel to this, I also listened to funk. Or, like I said, Frank Sinatra. Even Frank Sinatra, you won't believe that. He's one of my biggest vocal influences. And I like Bram Ferry of Roxy Music. And Martin loves a lot of new wave, which is very uncommon among heavy metal. And I think we created some kind of unique style. And we come here and we see bands playing Celtic Frost covers, like up to 6 Celtic Frost covers. And also in Germany, there's a lot of bands copying us. And I think that's a good sign if bands copy, you know. I think that's showing that you get accepted with your own style.
You've heard of a band from Toronto called Slaughter?
Yeah, they are doing Massacre, and I think Into Crypts of Race. Yeah, they're pretty much thrash. They're one of the fastest bands I ever heard. I got a demo at home. The voice sounds even like me, you know. I was totally surprised when I heard them first. Yeah, Strapato, I think it's called. Yeah, I have a badge of them, and yeah, I think if we meet them, I think we'll be really good friends. You know, I mean, we're really proud they play songs of us and they like us, you know. We really like them, we admire them.
Do you have any plans to record like video or anything? I heard there was some TV show in Germany that was around.
We had a TV show in Switzerland playing Into Crypts of Race. And as far as TV shows, we just had this interview here in Canadian television. I think it will be broadcast Wednesday after the show here. I think they show some pictures out of the show, I'm not sure. And we'll have the offer from Noise Records to do a 30-minute video. And we plan it to be 50 minutes live and 15 minutes acting, cut into each other, you know. So it's like an extended video clip. Because we try to act a bit on our lyrics. We try to bring over our lyrics a bit, you know. Not only playing live like every other band does it, but we try to get, because the lyrics are very important to us, so we try to get over the lyrics also a bit in the pictures. But the problem is we have a lot of projects going on. We work on the new album very hard. We have this Tragical Serenades tour, which is very long, and yeah, next album will be called Into the Pandemonium, means way into the hell, you know, translated. And I think this album will be the definite Celtic Frost album ever. We're really looking forward to this album, and we're going to make it very heavy for ourselves, because we try to top the material we had onto Megatherion. Yeah, he's totally into Van Halen. That's also an outside influence. I'm also totally into Van Halen. Even if they're commercial, they can't play, man. But yeah, this album will have 8 to 10 songs. And the cover will be a real surprise, I think, again. And yeah, we're working at it right now. We have a new song which we didn't play tonight because we think it's too fresh. It's called Orbital Journey. Yeah, I think it will be a really unique album. And as yet on this album, we'll be using horns, violin, timpanis, kettle drums, you know. We had no press singer, which we will be using on the next album also. We'll be using a church choir. And I think it will be pretty unusual and an avant-garde heavy metal album, but still heavy as hell. It'll be out next July or August.
You on Into Megatherion, there was an old Hellhammer song on there. Will we be seeing any more do you think? Things like Buried and Forgotten. Right?
Yeah, we had this song Buried and Forgotten, which we thought it's lost in Hellhammer, so we did rewrite it on the new album. We did Necromantical Screams with the songs. And we had on Morbid Tales, we had Death from the Emperor, which was an old Hellhammer song rewritten. And we had Visions of Mortality, which was the last Hellhammer song I ever wrote. And we thought this song wouldn't be fitting into Hellhammer, so we put it in Morbid Tales. And maybe we're gonna rewrite one more Hellhammer. Like, you know, we're not without any ideas, so we don't have to take all Hellhammer material. But maybe it's like a tradition, and maybe we take another Hellhammer song, but it's not sure right now.
Okay, what would be the ultimate goal of the Celtic Frost concept?
Breaking out of the hardcore scene without selling out. You know, as you noticed on the latest album, we have horns. Like the opening of the album is totally avant-gardistic song. It has nothing to do with hardcore metal, but you still can bang to it. It's like a fantasy opening. We have these horns, we have these timpanis, we have violin, we have this opera singing. We have songs like Danse Macabre and Tears in the Prophet's Stream, which are totally weird, like soundtrack. That's our way of trying to break out of the hardcore scene, getting a bigger audience, spreading this kind of music to a bigger audience without selling out the band, without wimping out, you know. Because we hate bands who sell out their character, who move away from their basic fans, you know. We think that's really destroying your following if you wimp out as a hardcore band. So we try to stay heavy, but getting really original ideas into our music, which helps us break out into a bigger heavy metal scene, and maybe even breaking into a new wave scene, or breaking into a jazz scene even. We don't know, you know. In Europe we have quite a lot new wave following. I don't know if you can imagine that here in the United States, but in Europe we have a lot of new wave fans coming to our gigs.
Let me just say something. Being an American, you know, in Europe, if you go to someone's house, you can go to a young girl's house and she'll have jazz records, hard rock, heavy metal, classic, and ballads in the same record collection. You know, yeah, I mean, in America, you know, if you go to a girl's house, she has either easy listening or she's like jazz. But in Europe, they listen to everything. They have a real collection, you know, of everything. That's something unique. I gotta say that. In America, you don't have that. Someone likes jazz or they like rock or they like blues, but they never have like one of each or 20 of each. In Europe, you have that.
There's no possibility to survive as a band by only being stuck to the hardcore scene, as much as we like the hardcore scene. I mean, these are our 100% true fans, and these are the fans who made us big. But you can't survive as a band if you're only stuck to the hardcore scene. And we believe it's possible without selling out the band. Breaking out of the scene by being really original and by carrying on with total different ideas to all the other bands. And I think like Black Sabbath, when they came out first, they were one of the heaviest bands ever, but they made it into the charts, into like the official charts with like songs like Paranoid or Iron Man. And these songs were like total hardcore at this time, but they made it in the official charts. And I think if you're really as original like maybe Black Sabbath, we maybe got a chance to break out of this hardcore scene without selling out and without cheating our hardcore fans. That's really the goal of Celtic Frost.